Hello and welcome to Fin Business. Today we are in conversation with Gaurav Dua. So thank you so much for talking to Fin Business. Recently we have seen many insurance companies hitting the capital market. This was the buzz in inception when the insurance companies opened for private sector in 2001. Finally the FDI was passed and now ICICI Prudential, SBI Life, HDFC Life as well hit the capital market. What kind of growth do you see in India's insurance sector in next 2 to 3 years?
These insurance players have hit the stock market at the right time. Stock markets are up, so they are getting the right valuation. Second, they are over the hump. They have spent the time where they had to grow. They were making this thing losses. Now they have turned this thing profitable,
Right.
and have this thing achieved the size to hit the market. Number three, there is this whole trend of this thing financialization, where the policies are this aimed at moving this thing household savings towards this thing financial assets and away from this thing real estate and gold. So all these are this thing right. So the whole this thing scenario is actually good for these companies to hit the market.
Right.
In terms of growth, as I said, this whole trend of this financialization is, I think, a structural trend. You've seen for the first time that the real interest rates are much positive. So the money is flowing into this thing saving and this thing investment products. Which also includes insurance. These larger players also have the right this thing network and the product this basket in place now. And lastly, more importantly, this regulatory hiccups that they faced in last few years are also over. So I think the insurance players would show steady growth from here,
Right.
Which might be in line with or slightly higher than this nominal this GDP growth rate in the country.
So if you look at the trend, insurance companies and specifically life insurance companies were the biggest or the largest investor into the capital market till now. But now the companies have been listed. So do you believe now the investor focus will be changed?
I think insurance is a space which is a steady growth phase. And there's a lot of investors, especially this thing, institutional investors will find this story excellent because they provide a steady growth, stability, and which is part of your core this thing portfolio.
Right.
Apart from this, some of these players will also come into index over this thing next few years. That will also induce some buying into these stocks.
If you look at the trends in insurance sector or the growth of insurance sector in last 15 years now, because it's been quite some time since the sector was opened to private insurance companies, the penetration of insurance is still very less. We can see that there is a scope, but how do you actually calculate that growth? How do you actually see that insurance companies are growing? Because in last 15 years, we haven't seen the growth. In fact, the capital they got from the FDI, the capital they raised from the IPO, they could not manage to be more profitable, they could not manage to tap the untapped market. So how bullish are you on the growth of insurance companies going ahead?
So obviously they can go lower down the pyramid and grow, but I think there is enough scope to grow in the top three parts of the pyramid. That is where there is this thing affordability. That is where you can reach out.
Right.
So I think the focus for these players for this thing next few years would be that. Apart from this equity linked and investment linked this insurance products which are doing well because of the stock markets. But this pure insurance products, I think there is still a lot of scope to grow in the top end of the pyramid because the penetration there itself is not very huge.
So you see a lot of scope specifically.
A lot of scope to grow for these companies. So
always look
double-digit growth for next 8 8 to 10 years, I don't think is an issue for these companies.
So you believe that there will be double-digit growth in insurance in next couple of years?
I'm not talking a couple of years. I'm talking about this thing 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
Because I think they have that scope to grow at higher than this thing nominal this thing growth rate in GDP.
All right, Gaurav, thank you so much for that insights. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching.